DDO Players News is brought to you by the Table of Ultimate Gaming Kickstarter. Do you need a new gaming table? How about one that you can customize to your specifications? Kickstarter table packages starting at $599. That is for the 3x5 table. There is also a 4x6 option available. Each table comes standard with AC power and USB power outlets in 2 locations on the table. They have now reached the 600K stretch goal. That is the Compact Table of Ultimate Gaming 2.4 edition. This table can be the perfect small coffee table or a standard small kitchen table size, or it can be added to the end of the 4x6 table to make it a longer 4x8 table. Kickstarter was funded in 5 minutes, and currently, as of this recording, is setting at $683,895, pledged of the $25,000 goal. You do have 16 days left to get in on the Table of Ultimate Gaming. Head over to our show notes to find the link to the Kickstarter.
Good day, everyone. This is Piney Noodles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Everything is going fine over here. How are things going in Bavaria? I always get that name wrong, don't I?
Yes. Usually you do.
Yes.
I want to say I'm not eating a cream donut. Let that sink in a second. You'll get it in a minute. Guess you still haven't got it yet.
Very well.
Either that or it just wasn't funny. Maybe it was funny to me.
Okay, it must have been. So let's go into our Lemania preview. Update 36, patch 2. And we have release notes up for that.
This was kind of a unplanned Lemania. They found out that the build was ready to go out. It passed all the QC checks. So they decided, hey, why not throw up Lemania? So it went up on Wednesday. It was up till Friday. They had planned on keeping it up through the weekend, but they ran into some little problems. Lemania pretty much broke. It got to the point where wherever you were at, you couldn't leave. So if you were like in the test dojo, if you would step out, you would crash out. If you were in like a tavern and you would step out, you would crash out. If you were in the marketplace and you left the marketplace to go into the harbor, for example, you would crash out. So yeah. So Lemania done borked. They think they know the cause of that. So they're going to fix that for the next Lemania build. But we did get a few new things. The main things in this build were the DDO store is now back in the client. That's right. You can now open up the DDO store in-game again. Yay. But it will continue to open in a external browser window if your operating system's prior to Windows 97 or Windows 7.
Yes, they did have this little thing in Lotro, sort of guinea pig this particular thing. There was this issue with those other operating systems, and they had to go through quite a rigmarole in order to get things working every time. And I think they wanted to save doing it on DDO until after they resolved all of that issue and no longer had to go through a rigmarole in order to avoid crashing with the...
It's good to see Lotro being the guinea pig instead of DDO for once then. But okay, and here, for many of you might or might not know this, that I work in IT. So my suggestion to you, is there a reason why you're running a computer that is running Windows XP still? Do you really have a need to run Windows XP anymore?
Well, as for that, we still have customers where I work at that are still on XP, and we are required to go through testing and validation for a product with XP, and the number of times it goes, okay, you failed this test. It looks like this thing's not quite working right on XP. Oh, it works wonderful on all the other operating systems, and it works on my XP computer that I still have in order to do testing on this thing. But for some reason, they send it over to some extra testers that we've got offshore, and it doesn't. Oh, if they run on their XP system with this particular printer, I'm pretty sure it's a printer that never heard of XP when that printer was released.
Probably.
And the system doesn't. The print function crashes.
Oh, gee.
Okay, well, we can't duplicate that here, though, so how are we going to fix it?
Oh, dear. Yeah, that's probably... And then I know they did say, I think Cordovan did say on one of the streams or whatever, the reason that they have to do that is kind of like you said, it was they like tested it on Lotro, and then plus it's still like a compliance issue with the store provider they're using because they have to be compliant with some stuff, and the only way to get around that with XP is to do a browser. So,
right.
My personal suggestion is take a long, hard look at yourself and upgrade your computer. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
and then God help you if you're on the internet with the Windows XP system. That is all I'm going to say too. I shiver just thinking about it. Also, the Lamania build did bring back the Mimic Festival. And it is pretty much the same other than, sorry, all you people that were out there getting all of the nice tokens, but while the Mimic Festival is active, the bank deposit box in the Storm Reaver's Fresco quest in the bank will no longer produce mimics.
Wah, wah. Oh, is that what people are doing, running Storm Reaver and opening up all those boxes?
Oh, yeah, they were just farming that quest ad nauseum.
I could see why they changed it.
And then they were popping the, I forgot what it's called, the mimic... you can put, it's like mimic bait, basically, that you will pretty much always get a chance to get a mimic when you open a chest. Well, yeah, they were popping those, going in there, farming it, waiting about 10 minutes, going back in there, farming it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of chests in there, yeah.
I guess they decided that bank deposit boxes don't qualify as chests anymore.
Exactly. So,
and besides, you would think that the people at the bank would have tight enough security that mimics could not get into their system.
You would think so, but
yes.
Now they have, I guess.
Now they have. They have improved their security to prevent mimics.
I guess the coin lords did have a strong Stern talking to them, and they have worked on their security.
Okay, good.
Of course, if you're not familiar with what the Mimic Festival is, that is you open up a chest, and there is a chance that it could be a mimic. You kill the mimic, and you get a token. You collect all of those mimic tokens. You go to Glenrith, who is located in the Hall of Heroes, and you trade said tokens for rewards.
And I heard a rumor that somebody made a video talking about those rewards.
Possibly, maybe I did. Yes, I did. I did take a look at all these. They are updated rewards. There are some new pets as well.
Ooh. Nice pets? Mimics, I guess?
Well, kind of.
Okay.
Do you want me to spoil you?
Okay. We'll save it for the video discussion. Okay.
Okay. We will save that. So remember this conversation in about 2 minutes, and we'll come back to it. Okay. Also on the build, of course, was the Favored Soul enhancements and the Cleric Domain passes as well. So that was pretty much the brunt of what Lamania was. And, of course, we have our bug fixes that we had talked about previously. So hopefully we'll get another build this weekend, maybe. Like as I said, they did say they know the problem that they were facing this time, why it kind of crashed out. So hopefully they can get that resolved and we can get back in and test more of the cleric domains and stuff. Because I was actually going to do that, but I didn't get a chance. I did get the Mimic Festival reward video made, and that was about the time that the server started acting up. So
better to have it happen and get fixed now than for it to wait until...
Exactly. That's what I thought. I'm like, thank God this is on Lamania and not on live.
Well,
I guess that's what Lamania is for, though, right?
That's what Lamania is for. Exactly. Now let's have a look at your video where you discuss the festival rewards and what interesting things are there in there. And, oh, yeah, I have a feeling that somebody from the Game of Thrones wants us not to...
That's right. Right, you're spoiling everything, man. You're spoiling everything. So yes, if you do not want to be spoiled, you're going to have to skip ahead about 2 or 3 minutes in the, probably about 2 minutes in the show. Okay. So spoiler alert is on, starting now. Yes, the rewards have been updated, and as I said, there is some new pets, and the pets are the creeping coins.
Apropos.
How awesome is that? So yes.
Oh boy.
So
seeing a lot of those creeping around.
Yes, you are. So if you are familiar with those coins, if you know what those are, you can get those. If I remember right, I think it was 100 tokens for the pets. So not too bad. I mean, you're going to have to grind a little bit, but there was platinum, silver, and gold available. I'm sorry, copper, platinum, silver, and gold were the 3 choices of the...
That's 4 choices.
The pets. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's 4. Sorry. I forgot about copper. And there, of course, is some new jewelry as well, which was okay. An interesting thing, though, is they have some oil that you can trade. I think it was, I want to say 25 coins. And, of course, this is on Lamania, so this might be subject to change when it goes live. It might be more coins, less coins, so keep that in mind too. But there was an oil that you could put on that will stop your items from getting worn, or I think it was like a 25-minute duration. So that's kind of cool. I'm not sure if it lasts through death, though. The tooltip didn't say anything, so I'll have to get on the Mania and test that. But that would kind of be worth it, just getting some of those to kind of cut down on those repair bills if you know you're going to go into somewhere like a raid or something and you're going to probably die a lot. That will cut down on the repair bills.
I thought it was if you're going to go and face a lot of slimes.
That too. That would definitely help there too. So you can check out the video and see. I take a look at everything. All the rewards. So if you're interested to see what they are and the cost of them and the stats on them, go ahead and watch the video. But yeah, the pets, pretty freaking awesome, I think. I might have to grind for one of those. That would just be awesome to have a little coin following you around that thinks it's a mimic.
And let's head into DDO Chronicle issue 249. I wonder if they're going to have any celebration for 250 next week. Whatever is the case, we have, it looks like Drow, or?
We have a bunch of Drow. Yeah, that's from one of the new quests. I don't remember which one. I read them so much, they're all kind of blending together at this point. That's right. They all kind of look alike. They're all, Drow with red eyes. So, yes, we have Drow. The Community Spotlight, there is a new competition up on the forums. This is a player-run competition. Psycho Blonde is having a best of screenshot competition. What it will be every week, Psycho Blonde is going to say they want the best screenshot of blank, and then you have to go get that screenshot, and they will vote on the one they like the best, and you can win 500 DDO points from it. This week was the best of the Storm Reaver, so I guess we'll see what next week is. So that's kind of just a fun little thing. Plus, it's kind of nice to see all the screenshots, because what I've seen from people that post screenshots on the forums, there are people that can take some really amazing screenshots, and I suck at taking screenshots, I guess, compared to some of the screenshots people get. So people take a lot of time to frame their screenshots just correctly. So if you're interested in that competition every week, head over in the link and find out how to participate. King Kaz has It's Good to Be King, and that is every Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern on the official DDO stream channel, so check that out. Or you can also go follow King Kaz on his personal Twitch channel as well. We have a fan site news section with a big congratulations to Mickey. She hit 40,000 views on her YouTube channel. That is amazing. So congratulations, Mickey, for 40,000 views. That is a lot of views. DDO Cast had their latest episode where they were debating sentient weapons. That was an amazing debate. They had some really good idea about sentient weapons. I actually listened to that episode today, as a matter of fact. So if you want to hear what they think sentient weapons should be, check over and either listen or watch that. We got a shout out for our episode last week where we had a hard time deciding things, which if you remember the show title, very apropos, as Pine Leaf said before the show started. The Damsels of DDO is celebrating with the guest damsel, and that would be Even Note. So click over and watch them. And I had to call them out on Twitter, by the way, because Even Note tweeted out that she wanted to thank the damsels for the fun time she had running with them, and thanks for not letting her die. So I tweeted back and I said, hey, wait, when I run with the damsels, they let me die all the time. Things that make you go,
Oh, well.
Speaking of Even Note, her guild hit 150, so congratulations on that milestone. And BioBreak is returning to DDO. If you're not familiar with what BioBreak is, that is Sip over from Massively OP. That is his personal blog. Looks like Sip has decided to jump back into DDO, so welcome back, Sip. And then, of course, we have our Chronicle comment of the week. And that is, what class would be the best at fishing?
Well, I was thinking about if there were any classes that had weapons that would be good for fishing, since there are no fishing poles, and I decided that not really. So therefore, the only thing I could think of to be best at fishing is to turn yourself into a bear and go fishing as a bear, since bears should be good at fishing. So therefore, my answer is Druid.
No, I didn't even think about that. That is a very good answer.
What was your answer?
Ranger, you can just shoot them with your bow.
Well, I was thinking of an artificer for something for a similar reason before I remembered that
I didn't think about
ranged weapons and water don't get along very well.
No, this is true. You kind of have that whole thing. You got to like aim at a different spot because you're actually not seeing where you're looking thing. Yeah.
Well, that, and you ever see the Mythbusters episode about shooting into water?
No, I don't think I saw that one.
I'll have to
look that one up.
Yeah, because in Hollywood, someone jumps underwater and someone's shooting at them, and it's always that seems like that they're totally safe as a result of jumping, and they're testing that Mythbusters, and they found out that they gave it a confirmed after that.
Really? Well, see, now I'm really going to have to find that episode.
Yeah, no bullet they could find, at least no fast bullet, was able to survive going into the water.
Really? Well, see, the things you learn on this show, folks. And then we will wrap up our Chronicle with a look at our official screenshot of the week, and that is a perfect sunset vista. It takes top honors in the 332nd DDO screenshot of the week, and that is thanks to Vroom Vroom for sending that screenshot in. I love it. Vroom Vroom. See, at least finally a name I can pronounce. Thank you for having a pronounceable name for once.
Let's head into our store sales. Anything useful on this week?
We do. We have 25% off Astral Shards. And as I always say, if you're going to buy them when they're on sale. So now is your chance. And the Guild Renown Elixirs also at 25% off. We do have Guild Charters and the Guild Airship Beacons at 50% off. And the free sample of the week now through September the 14th is the Lesser Experience Elixir when you use the coupon code XP Extras. That is XPEXTRAS. XP Extras.
Maybe I should use that on my character that I run with you so that maybe I could collect as much experience as you seem to be doing on every single one of our quests.
You know, I thought about that when I seen that was the free sample. I'm like, there you go. Now maybe you can catch up with me because I still don't know why I'm getting more experience than you are.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no matter what happens, you seem to get more experience than I do.
That is what it seems like. It's really weird, but so there you go. So you'll have to remember that Wednesday and grab that free sample.
Anyway, hopefully when I forget, you'll remind me.
I will have to do that. I will make myself a note.
Let's go and see what's on the tabletop. And I heard that they are making a board game based on your hero.
They are! I am so excited about this. This was like the most exciting thing I read in the past couple of weeks. And I don't even remember how I stumbled upon. I think I was just on Kickstarter, and you know how sometimes you're on Kickstarter and you just kind of like start looking around at Kickstarter projects.
Right.
And I found this, and I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. It's Scrooge! Scrooge the board game! And as you said, Scrooge is my hero, so there you go. And as I said in my article on this, I think everybody knows how much I love Scrooge, and I love A Christmas Carol because, humbug and all that. So, yeah, basically in this game, you're trying to out-Scrooge Scrooge.
Scrooge.
It's Christmas time, and the snow is falling on the streets of Charles Dickens's 19th century London, and swirling fog is engulfing the cobbled streets and the twinkling gaslights. Do you have what it takes to out-Scrooge Scrooge? You're going to, it's basically a roll and move game, but there is some other mechanics. There's kind of set collecting as well. So that's kind of interesting that they did set collecting, resource management, and roll and move as well. What you're doing is you're rolling and you're moving around a board of Victoria, London, and you are trying to get to the end for Scrooge, and you're collecting cards. And as you collect these cards, you can, of course, play Scrooge on your opponents and kind of stop them and block them from doing things. But once you make it to the end, to actual Scrooge himself, you have to have the right combo of cards to actually defeat his ghost that he had with him. And if you do that, you will make Scrooge see the error of his ways, and everybody's happy because Scrooge is now a nicer person. But see, if you're like me, I always turn the movie off before that happens because that's not a good ending for me because, bah humbug. Yeah, this Kickstarter is running up and live now. And as of this recording, there is 23 days to go. And they are just a little shy of their goal. They're at $10,193, and the goal is $19,765. So not quite there yet, but 23 days to go. And I did look on KickTrack, which, if you're not familiar with what KickTrack is, it kind of looks at a Kickstarter and kind of looks at the funding that it's got, the progress it does, and it kind of estimates if it's going to trend or not. And this is saying yes, that if the pledges come in like they have been, it is trending towards hitting the goal. So we'll see if that is right. It's amazing how often KickTrack is actually correct on their estimates on whether a project is going to fund or not. So yeah, so they're just
especially good when they fund in the first 5 minutes.
Well, that's true, which most board games do. But yeah, they're at 51% of their goal right now. So I have a feeling they're going to make it. And this is kind of a cool story about this game too, because I emailed them then, and I got a mail back, and I was talking to the designers of this, and you would think this is like a board game company or something doing this, but no, this is just like a family that is making this game. They are just like huge Charles Dickens fans. They love all things Charles Dickens, and that's why in the game you'll actually see some characters from other Dickens things like show up in the game as well. And there's other little small Dickens Easter eggs that's in the game. But yeah, it's just a family. And this is the first time they've used Kickstarter. It's the first time they've designed a board game. They just decided, let's do this. Let's see if they can make it happen. And so, yeah. So I told them, heck yeah, this is amazing. So I'll talk about this. So hopefully we can help them get funded, because this is just amazing. You don't know how happy I was when I seen somebody was making a Scrooge board game. It was just amazing to me.
Now, I do have one little question. Why does one of these pictures say that is for 2 to 6, and another picture says it's for 1 to 6?
I asked him about that, and I did not get a response to my email because, yes, I found that out after I was emailing him about some other questions I had, and then I did ask him about that, so I'll have to re-email him because, yeah, I was confused about that too.
Yeah, unless, I was about to say maybe there was a stretch goal, but then I remember, what? No, they haven't funded yet, so they can't have stretch goals.
Yeah, no, and then I did watch one of the videos. They did send out some like prototypes of this to some people to, preview. Right. And one of the videos, they did stress you could play with one player, and it played really well with one player. Okay. So I think the 2 to 6 is just like a typo, I think, in the one picture.
Oh, okay. So therefore, that's your chance to be Scrooge. And let's face it, if there's a game that actually, I would think though that if you're if you're playing solo, then you are really trying to outscrew Scrooge.
Very much so, yes.
All right. Now, now that we have discussed actually, Scrooge is probably your second best hero since I'll be Strahd is your first.
Well, that's true. That's very true.
So now let's go to your third best hero, and I hear that he is getting some flux.
He is! Doctor Who Flux is coming! How awesome is this? Things are going to get all timey-wimey for Looney Labs as they're bringing the Doctor to Flux. This, of course, is the game with the ever-changing rules, so it just fits that we'll have the Doctor with the ever-changing regenerations.
Oh boy! So there'll be a keeper card for each Doctor.
I'm kind of guessing there probably will be. That I would just think that would be an obvious keeper card for him to do. I guess we'll have to see. They haven't really said much. All they did say is the games is going to feature various regenerations of the Doctors. They didn't say which. The assorted companions are going to be there. Some Gilfraying tech will also be in the game, of course. And you will have the K9, Cybermen, the Daleks, the Weeping Angels, and, of course, the Master will also make his appearance. Players will adventure through the time and space in this unique spin on the game with the ever-changing rules. MSRP is going to be $20 for it. This is going to come out November the 23rd, which just so happens to coincide with Doctor Who's 54th anniversary.
Right. So therefore, if you want to play it before then, you'll need a time machine.
You will. And then that would get really confusing.
All timey-wimey. Yes.
Everything would get timey-wimey.
Well, then let's head into the next episode of the pandemic. Of pandemic in their various specialty type games, various survival series. The first one was Iberia with the railroads and the rising of all this. But now, speaking of rising, it looks like it's not diseases you're going to be fighting. It's going to be floodwaters.
It is floodwater. And this is like, as I said in the article for this, it's kind of ironic that they announced this right now with 2 hurricanes battering us. But yeah, and they actually did push this announcement off, and they like changed some of the wording, because I did get a press release on this. And then I was getting ready to type up a post for it. And then I got another press release that said, scratch that press release we sent. We're going to reword it so we don't be insensitive to people that are going through hurricanes right now.
Now, I'm wondering, though, are they going to amend the last paragraph? Since originally it was for hurricane relief for Harvey, which they'll be giving a donation to. I'm wondering if,
if they'll do Irma too. I don't know. Probably. I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they were not meaning to leave that out.
Well, like I said, but at the time this was announced, it was Irma wasn't really close to the United States yet. It was a
rumor. Yeah.
Right. But yes, Pandemic Rising Tide. How many pandemic games can we have? This is the next game in the survival series. It's going to continue the trademarks of the series, with each game enjoying a strong resemblance to the original Pandemic, while it uniquely adapts a theme and some new locale. This one is set in Holland, in the Netherlands, where the threat is not from disease, but it's from water itself. The land is becoming more and more scarce, with the water levels rising by the day. And you will need to create dikes to actually stop the rising tide from taking over the city completely. Your goal is to avert tragedy by constructing 4 modern hydraulic structures in strategic locations on the map that will help you defend the country from being reclaimed by the ocean. But beware, there is a storm a-brewing, and the seas are restless. Pandemic Rising Tide, coming later this year. No exact release date has been set, but you can head over to your friendly local game store and pre-order your copy today. But as you said earlier, if you pre-order directly from Z-Man Games themselves, they are going to give a donation of $5 per pre-order to Hurricane Harvey relief efforts. And I would assume they will probably add that. It'll probably go to Hurricane Irma relief efforts as well, too. But yes, we have another pandemic game. Good Lord, that's worse than Ticket to Ride. How many games do we need?
Let's see what we have so far. We have Rising Tide, we have Iberia, we have Rise of Cthulhu. We've got, let's see, Pandemic Legacy. We've got Legacy Season 2 coming up.
See, you just proved my point. How many pandemic games do we need?
And then there's the dice game.
I mean, I like Pandemic. It's a fun game to play, but good Lord, man.
Oh, and it's coming to Steam in a couple of months.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the Steam version.
All right. Let's now go and see what's on the screen. And there is a new Magic the Gathering digital game introducing Magic the Gathering Arena. And how am I going to get impressed by this?
Well, do you like Magic is the first question.
Well, I have been known to play it years ago.
This is a Magic experience with the full rules and ongoing content support for new card sets, just like the tabletop game.
Uh-oh. Does that mean that you're going to have to open up boosters and hope that you get a rare?
Yes, you are. Have you ever heard of a little game called Hearthstone, Piney?
I have heard a rumor of Hearthstone, yes.
This is Wizards of the Coast answer to Hearthstone. But, of course, they already had the Magic IP, so they thought, hey, we can do this collectible card game thing because we invented this collectible card game thing.
Yes, that's for sure.
So we're going to do our digital version of this. So, yeah, in my personal opinion, this is Hasbro/WotC's answer to Blizzard's Hearthstone. And yes, the game is going to be designed and built for digital gamers, but it's going to have the feel of the Magic's core gameplay from the tabletop. Every element of the game design is focused on an engaging and dynamic experience true to tabletop Magic. And as I said, they are going to support all new cards and all new expansions and packs that come out for the tabletop game. You will eventually see these in the digital version. But yes, my guess is you're going to have to either win and or buy the expansions in the game and open up the booster packs and hope you get the good cards. You can watch the full release video, which I have linked in the show notes, or you can also head over and sign up for the closed beta, which I did include that link as well. They are going to have a limited selection of beta testers coming out a little bit later this year, so get your name in if you want to check this out, and the full release of this will be early 2018. So yes, Magic the Gathering Arena coming soon to take on Hearthstone, in my opinion.
We'll see how that works. I've never played Hearthstone, so
I have
really
not
know
either
how that works.
But I know that's another game that you have to play a lot, and you have to get boosters, and you have to hope you get good cards out of the boosters. If not, you just have to keep playing until you get good cards. So yeah, I've never been a big CCG fan to begin with. I mean, I've dabbled with Magic a little bit, not seriously. I've never, played in a tournament or anything, but I've just kind of played a little bit. So yeah, fun game, but I never got into the whole, I got to get this card out of the booster because, we all know RNG.
Oh, yes, that's right. You'll be terrible. I could just imagine you would buy a pack of cards, and I think the odds, there was a time where there was about a 1 in 1,000 chance that you would get a deck where somehow they got the mixing wrong and you wind up with a common or basic land in the spot of the rare.
That would be the one I would get every time.
Yeah, that would be the one you would get.
Guaranteed every time.
Then let's head into another digital game, which thankfully is not a collectible card game. And this is an Steam, Android, and I think iOS already existed for this, for yes. Lords of Waterdeep.
Yes, it's been on iOS for ever, and everybody has been clamoring for an Android version, and they just kept saying, it's coming, it's coming. Well, that time is here now, because it is available as we speak, and they kind of threw in a Steam version too, just because, hey, let's put our game on Steam. So yes, Lords of Waterdeep, of course, if you're not familiar, is the award-winning strategy board game set in the Dungeons & Dragons world of Waterdeep. You play as one of the masked lords of the city, and intrigue abounds as you recruit adventurers via your agents to quest on your behalf and spread your influence to become the true Lord of Waterdeep. And this was originally launched on iOS. It's been, I think, about 2 years, maybe. And the new version of Playdeck's top-notch port includes overhauled visuals. Words are really hard tonight. And a few other tweaks, such as in-game chat. But basically, the game remains unchanged. And as we said, yes, now it is available on Steam and Android. The digital versions also conclude I'm telling you, words are failing me. Try that again. The digital version includes support for both human and AI players, asynchronous or real-time cross-platform online play, though you will have to sign up and play through a Playdeck account to take part in that. Just a heads up. And it was on sale, but now it's not on sale anymore. You can head over to Steam, which you can get the links in the show notes for all these. It's $14.99 on Steam, $9.99 on both Google Plus and iOS. But there was much rejoicing when Lords of Waterdeep hit Android. And Steam was just a welcome surprise.
Yay! Then let's head into our week in gaming. And Drac, what were you up to?
I did a little bit. I didn't do a lot. Real life again. Real life just keeps getting in my way. But of course, I did get my playthroughs with my Shader Kai and my Ranger of the Duel for the Underdark, Mines of Tethiamar. Still trying to get the named items that I want. Still not getting them. Though this time my runs, I managed to pull named items. Every quest I did, I actually got a named item out of the end chest. So that was cool. Of course, not the ones I wanted.
You can't have everything.
Can even use, well, of course, I got a couple of characters that I passed them to, so I can still use them. But still, seriously, it happens to me every time. I see I have a named item, and I'm like, oh, never mind. And it's not what I wanted. So, yeah. So, one day. I think this is going to turn into the Grim and Barrett Quiver. It's going to take me, I don't know how many runs. I have done countless runs now, but I will eventually get what I want. And by that time, Ravenloft will probably be out, and then I'll probably forget all about this stuff, and I'll be grinding Ravenloft for the cool loot that's going to be in that. So it's just a vicious cycle is all it is. Really, that's all I did, because we did not play this week, actually. So did not have any game time with you, but I did do some video games, played a little bit more of Blood Bowl 2 Legendary, and I think I'm about ready to do my review of that now, so look for that maybe this week or early next week. I will get that up on the site. Also played Warhammer End Times Vermintide. That, too, is going to be for review. I will get that review up soon as well. I need to play that a little bit more, too. But basically, the long and the short of Warhammer End Times of Vermintide, think the Left 4 Dead video game, put that in the Warhammer universe, and you're fighting Skraven, and there you have it. That is my short review for Vermintide. It's Left 4 Dead, basically.
Okay.
Fun game. I liked it. So, full review coming soon. In tabletop, I did get a little bit tabletop in. Broke out Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition again. Still trying to get through the Escape from the Innsmouth scenario. Still cannot get through that. I still keep going mad. That is a really, really hard scenario.
Oh, but I did that once and didn't go mad. That's because I was killed.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. Luckily, I haven't been killed yet. I just go mad every time. That's a really hard snip. Well, of course, I just... then again, RNG, I have some pretty bad rolls. The last 2 times I've tried that scenario, the rolls I've gotten have been horrible. So, one day.
Actually, I do remember I did once survive that scenario. Unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of the boat. But I wasn't in the boat at the time.
Ouch. Wow.
So
And then otherwise on the tabletop, I did some Descent Journeys in the Dark. That's a second edition as well. Did the Rise of the Goblins tutorial. I'm about halfway through that right now. I am so happy that in the app you can save your progress and come back to it. So yay for that. So I have that sitting on my table right now, ready for me to finish up the tutorial. And then I think I'm going to jump into the campaign of that. So that is what I've been doing tabletop-wise. So how about you, Pine Leaf? What were you up to?
This week, I was a little bit obsessed with completing the East Nether Tunnel in my Minecraft multiplayer world. And I just about kept on spending time on there and then noticing, oh, wait a minute, I don't have time for anything else. Okay, spend it.
Back to Minecraft. I'm going to dig another tunnel.
Yeah, I got that tunnel finished. I went all the way there, finished all the way to the end, got all the way to the final person that thankfully no one has looked like that they're going to go beyond that yet. But I finished the tunnel, thankfully, and I don't think I seriously got anything else. I had one or two things in Lotro that I managed to do, but not the stuff that I was planning to do. And outside of that, maybe I made very little progress in my Lost Continent campaign. That sort of like came to a grinding halt as I was doing this. So yes, very little gaming for this week. I was a little bit obsessed with finishing that tunnel in Minecraft. We currently have 22 supporters on Patreon. And if you would like to help join this illustrious group of players, you could help us by simply clicking the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We do have a featured comment this week, and it's from Mock Taskmaster on the Lords of Waterdeep being available on PC and Android. Yippee! Finally! I have been considering actually buying an iPad for this, just for this game, and I'm so happy to see it on Android. And that's not all. They also give us a Steam version. Instant purchase for both platforms. The cost on sale for both works out to the cost of the Steam version alone. So, still a wash. Now, finding time to play. Yes, and I should note that I also purchased that as soon as I heard about it. And, of course, also got the DLC packages.
Well, of course, that's just, automatically, you have to get the DLC.
Yeah, you have to get the DLC, right. And even though it was talking about the rewards for the Mimic Festival, it says new pets. That's all I needed to know.
I am sure. See, now she does not have all the pets. See, now we have new pets.
Not until they release it.
Well, that's true. That is very true. Technically, she has all the pets right now. But when the Mimic Festival is active, get grinding, even though.
She is going to be finding mimics all over the place.
Just not in the bank anymore.
Just not in the Yes, not in the bank. So, yeah, you can't grind the bank for them. If you would like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast at ddoplayers.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Dracula at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. And DDO Players News is brought to you by the Table of Ultimate Gaming Kickstarter. Need a new gaming table? How about one that you can customize to your specifications? Kickstarter table packages start at $4.99 now with their smaller version in there, but originally it was $5.99 for 3x5 tables, and there are also 4x6 tables, AC power, and USB outlets on 2 locations, and the 600,000K stretch goal was a compact gaming table 2.4, which is now unlocked, which is perfect for a small coffee table or standard small kitchen size, or can be added to the end of a 4x6 for longer 4x8 table, and that one is $4.99 for its basic version. The Kickstarter funded in 5 minutes, and it's currently at $630,475 pledged of $25,000 goal, with 19 days to go as of this recording. You can check out our show notes for this episode for the Kickstarter URL and pledge today. And I was a little worried about the 3x5 table being too big for my needs, but that 2.4 is starting to look tempting.
I know. Oh, I want some of these. I want one of these tables so bad. These tables look amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yes. The Players Alliance has 3 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News on the first and third Friday of each month at 11:59 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have XP Quest, and every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Locho Players News. You can join us for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. This is Finding Fuels reminding you to quest responsibly.